Right, spearfishing snapper, which for me personally as a spearo, one of the most frustrating fish to target. They're always just out of reach, or they never seem to be around, or you spook them and they're gone. But this guy here, he knows a thing or two because he holds the current world record for speared snapper. This is Nat Davey, and Nat, snapper hunting as a spearfisherman is a real art form, isn't it?
It is. They're smart. They're always on edge. They're ready to go at the sound of anything foreign to them, and they're a big challenge.
Do we find snapper all around New Zealand?
No, generally find them in the top half of the North Island in better numbers, and that gets a little bit harder as you go down the country, and then there's a decent patch at the top of the South Island, but nothing much after that.
They're one of those great fish that are there year round, aren't they?
Yeah, during the summer months they're a lot more predominant, but in the winter the ones that you are going to come across generally seem to be a lot bigger. Fewer of them, but a lot bigger. Now,
there have been times where I've just been tearing my hair out and just not seeming to be able to get close enough or to approach them. There are two different ways. One is the snoop. Can you explain the snapper snoop to me? Okay,
so when you're snapper snooping, you pretty much want to find a bit of likely country, good ledges under the surface, and start off a little bit away from them before you dive on them, and slowly the better. So take your time, peer over the edge, and sometimes they might be sitting 4 or 5 metres down the track. It's best to swim back away from the edge and have another go.
And generally with snapper, if you can come down from on top of them, from a ledge down, that's the best way to approach?
The best way, yep. You're literally coming over the top of a ledge, looking into the slightly deeper water, and they'll be sitting there. Generally, if there's a bit of current, they'll be sitting just gently finning into the current, not actually moving, just holding their place. They'll hold in certain spots day after day after day. So.
Right, so now obviously snooping is one way to approach snapper, but burleying's a great way to bring them in and around, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the burling. It can be a lazy man sort of technique. You go and start off, sort your sea eggs out, and find a nice ledge similar to where you expect you're going to see them when you're snooping. Bit of tide. And yeah, set up your sea eggs at the bottom of the ledge.
How many kin are you talking?
30 is a good number.
Oh, okay, right. So that's quite a bit, isn't it?
It is quite a bit, but the little fish turn up first, and they sort of stir it up. So it does take a little bit longer sometimes for the bigger ones to come around. And yeah, as long as there's food there, it'll keep them around.
I guess when it comes to burling, it's also good to bear in mind that there is a limit for kinner as well.
Yeah, yep. So your limit's 50 sea eggs per person per day. So if you were going to go and set up, say, 2 burleys, you wouldn't want to go over the 25 per burley. We want them around for everybody to be able to enjoy. I generally try to set mine up sort of a metre or a metre and a half out from the ledge. So as you come over a rock and you're going to come down to shoot your fish, you want to be sort of shooting on a slight bit of an angle. When the fish are on the burley, that's what they're concentrated on. They're concentrated on feeding, and they hardly notice you come in at all. So, but it's slow and steady wins the race, and you get your fish that way.
And it's often good to have a couple on the go and then move between them, because how much time are we giving them to bring those big fish in?
I've seen big fish come in within a minute, and sometimes it's an hour. It just totally depends on, but you got to give it time. If you're in a right area where you've seen good snapper before, that sometimes they won't feed with certain tides, and you just got to wait for that tide to start moving the right direction, and then it'll bring them in onto the burley, and hopefully it all works out. Hopefully you're shot straight.
So now we've just recently gone through a size regulation change. What's that?
So it's the size has been risen from 27 centimetres up to 30 centimetres, and the numbers have dropped from 9 down to 7 in the northern region.
All right, now I guess probably one of the big questions that most people will have, you do have the world record. How heavy?
15.2 kilos.
15.2 kilos. That's a big fish, isn't it?
It was a big fish, and yeah, it was made my eyeballs pop out of my head when I poked my head over the ledge, and it was sitting there, and got lucky on the day.
Well, okay, just happened to come in close, and there you were?
Yeah. I had a burley set up and shot it off a burley.
And a fish like that fight?
No, I stoned it.
Stoned it?
Yeah, and just in through the top of the head, and
right.
It was very easy.
What he means by stone shot is either hit's gone through the spine and short-circuited the fish, or gone down and painlessly lights out, hit it in the brain, which is a great result. Congratulations.
Thank you.